going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into part 2 of the Mix and Match series with Mr. David Zaritsky from the Bond Experience. I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. So the next one, the Matchless Suede jacket from Spectre. Tan. I'm going to keep pointing up here.
Bingo now.
Well, I got to keep pointing up here. Hopefully I can find an image to put there. So the Matchless Suede jacket from Spectre. What do you think about this one? Dive into this one. Weight, fit. How else have you worn it?
It is by far one of the best leather jackets in the Bond series, bar none. The fit of it is perfect. And again, it's all how you're built. You know, if you've got that, even just a slight V, it V's you out. I mean, it's built around an athletic cut. And for those of you that understand what that means is if you are athletic in the slight, it enhances that in a really great way. Zippered or unzippered, the feel of it, the feel of the suede is butter. And you're a little paranoid at first because it is, you're right. It's like, you know, a light beige. It's, you know, you're very nervous about pen marks. I've gotten a little marks on the cuff. As soon as you get that first mark though, you feel free.
Right.
You're like, bring it on, oil and salad dressing, and you cherry pie, get the hell over here, pack it on.
Red wine,
I want some of you. So it helps you to like relax and wear the damn thing. I wear this every season. Fall, that thing comes out. I've worn it with, you and I dress alike, I think, you know, white V-necks. I wear it with sweaters. Like when it gets a little bit colder, I'll pair it with like a V-neck sweater.
Like a lighter material.
Yeah, exactly. And I've worn it with navy blue polos, just like in the movie. And I've worn it with the Tom Ford Spectre polo, just like in the movie. I tend to wear it almost exclusively with navy jeans. It looks amazing with, and be careful with navy jeans. Make sure that you've worn them a bunch of times or you'll get what's called transfer onto the inside of the jacket because there's this suede, it'll rub against the jeans and get the indigo. You want to be careful of that. But it looks so good with like a light colored shirt, that jacket, and a navy pair with dark brown chukka boots. It makes you want to slap your mama. It's so good.
So this one, correct me if I'm wrong, that is a Tom Ford polo underneath, correct?
It is. Yes.
Okay. And it's navy.
And it is navy. I feel like your vision is clearing as we
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah. It's just, you know, we've been doing this for a while. It's like, you know, so as far as the jeans, because that is of course how I would wear it, you know, I'm huge into jeans, especially the navy jeans. And like you said, not only for the purpose of the transfer, but would you agree that a more, I don't want to say washed, but just like a more worn navy jean would look better than like a brand new pair of like unwrinkled, untouched navy jeans? Would you agree?
I do agree with that. I think, I guess the best way I could say it is you don't want it to be too studied. Like, you know, a pair of like people have dress jeans. I think I have a pair of dress jeans. It's like, it might just look a little too crisp and buttoned up. Whereas this suede jacket should be, I always call things the centerpiece. I always feel like when you wear something, you know, like we talked about the Dior jacket, that is going to be the centerpiece.
Right.
The jacket itself is going to be the centerpiece. Everything else should be like a meal where it's like, those are the roasted potatoes, it's the asparagus, but the steak should be the jacket. I mean, that should be the main course. So in this case, he's wearing the Topman chinos, for example. It's going to look great with chinos, but nobody's going to be like, dude, love those chinos. It's like another pair of chinos. It could be Topman, it could not be, but to me, that's fine. So with jeans, I agree with you. It shouldn't be these like blast of indigo, solid, you know, Vidal Sassoon, not even around jeans anymore. Gloria Vanderbilt.
It's interesting too, because it seems like a lot of the time when we're talking about something that's the centerpiece, of course, being somewhere up top, the pants that he's wearing are never as, for lack of a better word, expensive. You know, the Matchless jacket is expensive, whereas Topman is not an expensive brand whatsoever. So
No,
it's interesting. Even the clothing designer is thinking like the pants, they got to match and they got to be good, but I'm not going to put that much effort into hunting down these pants from some extravagant English brand because the jacket is what matters here. It's
I
interesting.
agree.
The next one, now into No Time to Die. This freaking thing, I can't even get started. So this is the Connolly-Finnemore. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correct.
Yeah.
Shirt. So this one, close to impossible to get. I've tried. How would you wear this one? And correct me if I'm wrong. We don't know how he's wearing it fully. You may. We don't. Correct?
He's wearing it with a black cord Massimo Alba pants, the same types
Okay.
he wears with that shirt. Um, yeah, we pretty
Actually,
much
we
know.
do. We do kind of. I thought we do because
And he
at
wears the
one point
trench
he's
coat
wearing
over it as
right.
well.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. So this one, of course, I know was difficult to get your hands on, but this one here, it's kind of another beigeish, tannish, grayish looking shirt.
So this is a
Um,
fun one to talk
it
about.
is. It is.
Yeah, because we were actually a part of uh, identifying for the company that they were in the movie and
Mhm.
then working with them. And they did what was called probably one of the smallest runs, 50 of these, and that's it in various
Mhm.
sizes for people that pre-ordered them. They weren't cheap, but they are unique and they will never be made again. So for those that own it, great. They fit perfectly. They are gorgeous. Again, athletic cut, beautiful, beautiful linen and cotton. And yeah, you can see why Bond would gravitate to this. And so I have worn this. I have this shirt. They were nice enough to give me one as part of the, kind of working with them type mode.
Mhm.
But the shirt can be worn with almost everything except for, as you can imagine, light colored
Yep.
pants.
Yep.
Not great. So I've worn it with jeans.
Mhm.
I've worn it with so far a pair of like a light charcoal pants. I haven't done the whole like outfit from the movie. It's interesting enough, I just got for review the Massimo Alba black cords that he wears with that. So I
Okay.
will be putting the outfit together for a video review that I'm filming this weekend. So I'll be wearing the whole thing, trench coat, shirt, black cords, the right
Crockett and
boots, the
Jones.
right belt.
Are they Crockett and Jones shoes?
They are.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So with the jeans, a navy, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've worn it with Navy and it looks so good. And I think you've seen Dressing Like Bond's Harris Thomas wear it with jeans as well. He loves this
Mhm.
shirt because he got it in a size and, because he's so thin, he's so lean that shirts don't tend to fit him. They tend to wear him. But this fits him so well. It looks like, he wound up actually going to the company and getting multiple colors of the same shirt.
Yeah, I don't blame him because when you find a shirt that fits perfectly, there's nothing better. There's really nothing
It's why
better.
I tend to go to Oliver Brown. Oliver Brown just tends to fit me
Hmm.
polo wise better than most shirts.
Yeah, that's interesting too because the one thing I ordered from Orla Bar Brown, I had to send back.
What was it?
It was the Thunderball blue button down.
Was it too tight?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
didn't you go size up?
Because then I kind of figured that it would just be too. I'm like in that medium. It's like no pun intended, but happy medium. It's like between medium and large. I
Yeah.
mean, I have small in something like Peter Millar is a brand that everything I have from is small, and then like Lululemon, it's mostly large.
What's your chest and waist size?
I'm like a 40. I was like a 42. Now I'm probably like a 40 regular, and then my waist is like a 32.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Pain
yeah.
in the ass. It's a pain in the ass.
No,
You know?
that's a pretty good size to be.
Yeah,
People
that's
would kill
yeah,
for that. So
yeah.
shut up,
That's
you.
good. There's a lot of pants. Okay, on to the next one. The sloop suit.
Sloop
Massimo Alba
suit.
sloop suit. So this is one where I first started seeing the spy images and thinking, I don't know, I feel it's got the three buttons, it's the tan, the blue shirt is just like another crazy eye pop. And then once you kind of see the actual stills and you can just see how beautiful the suit is, of course, my mind started to change. But this one, I wanted to kind of throw a wrench in the plan because it's a suit. You know, he's wearing it with a very specific
Yeah.
outfit. We've talked about like the Massimo Duty kind of replica of the shirt you can get, different things. How else would you wear this? So we'll start with just the suit itself. So get rid of the shirt and the tie. How else could you, what else could you pair this with?
Yeah, this has been a bit of an evolution for me as well, like you. I mean, from seeing it to, I think, even a video where I said I would never get it, then getting it, loving it.
Mhm.
And then there was a brand excursion. We had a bond tour in New York City where I wore the whole outfit, suspenders, tie, everything,
Yeah.
dead on, even the right Drake boots, everything. And I found that I didn't like the whole suit together the way he wears it in the film. It just was too forced.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like cosplay. It just felt like it didn't go together. So then the next time I wore this suit, I wore it with a dark blue dress shirt, dark blue, like this color, dark blue.
Yeah.
No suspenders, brown belt, brown shoes, but a
Tie.
little dressier shoe than a suede shoe, open collar, and it
Okay.
looked amazing. It looked fantastic. And I've seen again Harris dress in a similar one. It looks perfect. I mean, it doesn't look
Yeah.
professorial. It looks stylish, but not overly fashionable. So I've
Right.
worn it in those ways since, and I'm sure I'll use it again when it gets a little cooler because it's so soft. It's so, and I would wear the pants separately from the jacket and the jacket separately from the pants. So I would mix and match.
Yeah. So when I see him wearing it without the tie and the jacket's wide open and the shirt's buttoned down, that looks great to me. That,
Yes.
you know, so I agree. So with the Navy, okay, so Pierce Brosnan in World Is Not Enough when he
Yeah.
wears that linen suit with the bright blue. That was one that I put out when I was looking for a linen suit to wear to the wedding, which eventually became, you know, the Matera linen replica. But that just like blue crush looking color, I just don't gravitate towards. And this one kind of has a similar, just like piercing, pun intended, blue.
Yeah.
And so would you kind of gravitate more to a navy than this type of blue as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just because it goes so well and something very solid too.
Right.
So, making sure because you do see the pattern in this. It almost, like Danielle, when she first saw it and she felt it, she thought it was almost like velvet, because it's got that kind of feel to it because it's baby cords. Again, it's very thin corded, so it kind of all blends together. But
Mhm.
yes, dark for sure.
Okay. Perfect.
By the way, I would even wear that with like a short sleeve polo underneath. You
Yeah. Oh
can be
yeah.
with like a banded bottom instead of tucked in. I think
Yeah.
that would look very good as well.
As far as the cuff, when it meets your wrist, is it still kind of wide open or does it kind of taper a little? That to me is
It
what
tapers a little.
separates. Yeah, that separates me
Yeah,
from
it's a good
wearing a
point.
dress shirt and a polo. I hate
Yeah.
when it's like baggy. You know what I mean? See,
Yeah, because then
we're
it's also
kind of
riding
nuts.
up. You look like a 1980s comic. No,
Right,
not good.
right. So the next one is one that you and I have spoken
Ooh.
about many, many
Ooh.
times. And it's to this second, David, something that I still am just, do I get it or not? So this Connolly jacket, cardigan, if you will,
Hmm.
is when I see him wearing it, it looks great. But at the same time, the width of the jacket is concerning to me, and also the width with the length of the jacket is concerning to me. So this one, how else have you worn this one? Of course, he's got, I think that's the rag and bone short sleeve Henley under there, or is it a different brand other than it's a short sleeve Henley, but it's not rag and bone. And I remember that now. I'm not even going to try Sunspell. I'm not even going to try.
So the brand that's underneath that jacket is embargoed until the movie comes out.
Okay.
But sure, when the movie comes out, it'll be loud and clear.
Yeah.
That being said, this jacket in particular is kind of a new jacket for me. So outside of reviews, I've worn it only a handful of times out before it got too warm or too cold.
Mhm.
But I haven't really worn it out with white underneath it. I think again, it's too much of a contrast. So
Okay.
I've worn it with a pair of chinos, and I've actually worn it with a blue V-neck. And I made sure that the blue was a dark navy blue, because this is almost like it's like a mottled blue. It's not very dark. People think it's dark, but in person, it's almost like I hate to say it, like almost like a faded acid wash type blue. It's like heathered, I think is what they call it, blue. So the dark navy V-neck that I wore was a nice contrast, where it almost looked like it could be a continuation of the jacket, but it was contrast enough not to be. And then the
Okay.
light colored chinos, not gray like gray cords like he wears in the thing, was perfect. And then I actually wore it with a pair of loafers with no socks, because it was warm enough out to do that. So it looked very Italian provincial the way I wore it. And I also wore it unbuttoned
Okay.
in many cases, because it looked a little less blousey to
Yeah.
have it unbuttoned. It almost looked like I was wearing kind of like a shirt or an open sweater.
Right. Okay. And see, that's what's difficult. So when you wear it with no socks, do you wear a more tapered pant as well? Because
Oh
I'm the
God, yes.
same. I
But
cannot
all my
stand
pants are
and
tapered. I can't
okay.
stand, stovepipe pants.
Yeah,
That's
but
not how I roll.
especially with no socks, that's just not a
Yes,
good look.
all of my chinos, everything is tapered. It has to be.
Yeah. So this one, when this came out, of course, like every other freaking thing, he looks fantastic. But I have to be objective, however, with these
Yeah.
things, because am I going to spend the money and have it sitting? Because there's a collector in me that, of course, wants to get it, and then I look at it, I mean, it's obviously a beautiful item. It's not something
Beautiful.
that I love it. It's great, but I don't know if I'll like it. So I can finally do this at Bondspired. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all. Bondspired posted a Banana Republic kind of replica of this. That one I went out and got. It's literally kind of a navy jacket. It's even got the toggles, or the that's hanging. That is something that I have worn multiple times in many different ways: t-shirt, button down, whatever the case may be. So after owning that, and of course it's similar, it kind of gives me the confidence to purchase this. But of course it isn't as wide, and it also isn't as haltered as this one. So that is still, that to me, it's just, like you said, blousy. It's got, kind of a very carefree look in the
Yeah.
waist area. And I've never been a fan of that.
Yeah, it's a great jacket. I like some of the homage pieces actually better than the
Mhm.
original one. Just the way they fit and look. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one. You've got to like really kind of put yourself out there for this.
Yeah. So the next one, this is another heavily debated item. So this is just that Massimo Alba duster. So this one here, we've talked about it. We've talked about the
Yeah.
material. We've talked about the weight. We've talked about everything head to toe. And of course, like you said, you've got the entire outfit. As far as this, overcoat, jacket, coat, however you want to call it,
Yeah. Trench.
how else could you wear this other than, and like you said, we do see him wear it technically two different ways, at least in the
Yeah.
film.
The
So
Connolly
how else would
shirt
you wear
and
it?
the rag and bone that you're wearing. And I've worn it with the rag and bone. I haven't, see, this is going to be a tough one for me, because I'm going to be assumptive, because I haven't worn this out that much. I'm still kind
Yeah.
of getting used to it. And it's, it's a long trench coat. It's a little cowboyish, and I don't know if it fits my style right now. Maybe I'm getting used to it. But what I would do, because it is a trench coat and it's a little bit longer, I would probably pair it with, I sound like a broken record with this, of a navy button down shirt, long sleeve,
Mhm.
with a pair of not charcoal, but maybe like nice worsted wool, light gray slacks,
Okay.
and black shoes. And I know that kind of goes against what he wore, but I'm actually good with that, because it's a little bit more fashion forward and dressy. I would want to pair it with something that's a little bit more stoic, a little
Right.
bit more traditional. to tamper that down. It's like serving, I'm going to do the meal thing again. It's like serving a really interesting main course. It's really unusual, but still tying it with, accompaniments that you know and love to give you
Right.
that like safe whoopee.
So with this one, what would you say the color is? Is it kind of like an olivey,
It's not an olive. It's
or is it
it's
more of a
like
beige?
yeah, it's a loge green. So it is a
Okay.
green. It's very much green.
Yeah.
But think about it as almost like a seafoam green, if you can imagine what that is.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
a lighter green. It's some people call it a pea green, but it's definitely not olive. It's not a military type green. It's like forestal type green.
Yeah. And this is the one you said this is a very thin cord, right? This
It's the
jacket.
same. It's the same cord as the suit.
Okay. Okay. And then correct me if I'm wrong. Not
I
as
will.
I remember you said not as heavy as you would assume, but
No,
it is a little baggy, right? Or
it's baggy.
yeah.
Like I
Okay.
got a size 48, European size 48, and that should have like been fine. I could have, it could use a nip and tuck.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So when you brought up the navy button down, I don't know why I keep thinking a navy like long sleeve polo with
Oh,
this.
yeah, that would look really good.
What do you think?
Oh, I think you probably did one better, to be honest with you, because it still keeps with that casual kind of, and this is right. I mean, this isn't going to
Hmm.
be, you're going to your prom in this. This is like almost like it gives off an air when you wear this of I just grabbed it. It was hanging on my chair. It was definitely
Yeah.
not hung up.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't care. This is like a Jake thing. Like I just can't be bothered.
Okay.
And you
Yeah.
throw it on and you're just like relaxed, like shabby chic.
Right. Right. Would you ever, I don't know why, and this is going to be make or break, I guess, for our friendship maybe here. Would you
Everything
ever
always is with
do,
you and I.
I know, right?
Effort.
Would you do the long sleeve polo? I don't know why, but I just keep thinking buttoned all the way up. Do you ever do that with a polo shirt
No,
all the
I
way
can't
up?
do that. I
I
can't
don't
do that.
I've really never done it either, but for some reason I just picture like a
Yeah.
really, really nice, like it's still casual, but you can find a, I don't know. I don't,
I
something
mean, it's
about
just
that. I
not a
don't
look
know.
that I've ever liked, totally
Yeah,
buttoned up. And I don't find it very comfortable too. So
right.
um, maybe it's my
It's
neck size. I don't know.
yeah,
But I also like to have a little bit of like just room here. So it's comfort, but it's also just, it's not my look.
yeah. It's just funny because I'll see people wear that and I think that looks great. And then I try it on similar and I just don't like it.
Better
But
with that.
the next one we
It's like
talked
the it's
about
like the
this.
backwards baseball hat. It may work on some people, but it wouldn't work on people like you and I.
You don't think I look good in a backwards hat?
I don't know what's the opposite of good. I'm trying to think.
Shitty.
That's a little harsh,
Not
but
good.
like a corporate version of the word shitty. Not
Um,
good.
I don't know.
You have
Not good.
hair. You have hair.
That's true.
What are
That,
you
you know what
covering
though?
up?
When I made that video, I needed a haircut. And I did tell you that. I
What does
needed
that even
a haircut.
mean?
It was like long and awful. The next one,
Okay, yes, please.
the Tommy Bahama Catalina Twill. Black, black, black. I have it in navy, but it is black. This one,
Do you have a black one too?
no. And you want to know why?
Look at you.
Because also didn't come out
Ah,
until and then when they re-released it, I was like, you know what, I like the navy.
hmm.
But it wasn't until, and I'm glad I didn't buy it when it re-released because I bought it in a medium and it's way too big, and you told me that. But
Oh,
I did have it
shoot.
tailored. I had it tailored. They tailored, and they even
Nice.
tailored it. My tailor is so great that she was like, I'm gonna move the buttons and everything for you. She wasn't gonna do the half. She
Nice.
moved everything. But still, it does still, you can only tailor it so much, and of course it is the 100% silk version that I have.
Yeah,
So you also don't want to be completely butchering this shirt. But
correct.
so this one is, it's interesting because it's one of my favorite outfits just because of how easily replicable it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, it is.
And already owning the shoes before this film came out was also a huge plus.
Why don't you go first on this one? What do you, when you wear this, what do you pair it with?
So, like I said, I have the navy, but I think with something like this, the black and the navy, you can kind of, aside from like maybe a blue jean, you can kind of really just stick with the same thing. So I've done like a khaki, chino, and then I've also done like gray jeans like he has. And then I kind of think in Florida, when I first got to wear it, as it should be, I think I may have worn it with shorts. I really do.
Oh, actually, that's a great idea, though.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a really cool, I think even a Northeast like Nantucket look, wearing
yes.
a button, rolled up, obviously, with shorts. I literally just did that yesterday with a Navy shirt because I had a pitch on Zoom. So I had to look like I was dressed up, but I was also wearing shorts. And I had rolled up my sleeves. And Danielle, I walked out of my office and Danielle said, that looks really nice with the long sleeve. And
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
a little frat boyish, but I like it.
Right. But you know what? For this, that's okay, because for me, especially, so I'd have to try on the small and to really know how it feels. But even the medium, it is still a little, I don't even want to say big, because it's really not. It's just it's got room. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's kind of like you got to wear it like I don't give a shit about that, because he wears it in that way, like he's in a hot climate, and he's clearly, like, just with his outfit, it's not like he's sitting in there like, God, this one, oh yeah, this is the one, like he just threw it on or he was doing something or whatever. So when I wore it, it's unbuttoned, it's rolled up, it's as casual as it gets. But how else would you wear this one?
You're gonna love this. So I've worn it only two different ways so far. I've worn it like he did in the movie, which, just even around town, it's like super casual, super cool. Nobody knows it's Bond. Right. And I got a size small, so it fits right and perfect, and had it
not tailored at all.
I just hemmed, had it hemmed, but didn't need to be tailored. And then, so here's the other way I wore it, and you'll appreciate this talking about Florida. So I wore it with a pair of Sunspell Sea Island cotton lounge pants in a light gray. Yep. So it was the shirt, which kind of has almost like kind of a pajama top feel to it, with the silk, with the lounge pants, which they're not tapered at all. They're just like little sweatpants, but they're very, very thin. And the Sea Island cotton makes it very wispy. And I just kind of like wore it around, like just it's almost like, I hate to be like this, like I'm on an island and I don't care.
Was it when you were at Goldeneye?
It was.
Yeah. I was going to say, to me, it's the perfect, I mean, obviously for obvious reasons, but it's gotta be an outfit where you're just like, I want to be as comfortable as possible and not care.
And can I tell you something? And I think they set her out, the designer must have done this with Craig. It is such a Fleming piece. Fleming wore these kind of silk, or Sea Island cotton, dark, either black or navy, like you have, actually more appropriately, to kind of tops that were just kind of loose and fun and billowy and felt good. And look, it's from a maintenance standpoint, it's not the easiest shirt in the world since it's silk, but it just feels very flowy and very comfortable. I'm with you on this.
So my only issue with it, and this may be because it's a medium, but you said you got yours hemmed. Mine went like full surgery because it was a medium, right? So like I said, literally move the buttons, everything. Yeah.
You may be tempted to get a black and small just to try the size.
Oh, I definitely want to, but the problem is I think they're sold out again. So, but they do keep.
They'll be reissued, I bet.
But yeah. When you fold the sleeves, do you feel like it's a little too much going on here? And I'm saying,
because I'm used to folding my sleeves above the elbow. That's called the European fold. The American fold hits mid-form. Right. But I've always done a European fold. So you unbutton all the buttons. Yeah. And the other way to fold it is you don't do, because we've all studied his fold. Of course we have. You don't do a tight fold multiple times. It's literally 3 folds and that's it. Okay. And so it should be loose enough that it doesn't restrict your massive bicep in your case.
It must be distorted. So the next one, this is one that I've wanted since the second I've seen it, and it wasn't until you and I spoke about it in the Keep or Kill where I realized some key features of this one. So this is that N.Peal commando sweater, I guess you would call it. So this one here, I of course have many different ideas of how to wear this, but I want to hear yours first because
Sure.
I know you own it, and I know that you've probably worn it differently than he does because I don't think you went to murder anybody, as we know, or I hope. So how would you wear this one? And how have you worn it? And is there any ways that you want to try?
So I've worn it like it is in the movie with a
Mhm.
pair of jeans.
Okay.
There's a lot of blue going on. I get it. But the jeans that I've worn, to your earlier point, are not, they're a little bit more rough and tumble, faded type, not faded, but you know what I'm talking about. They're not
Yeah.
like solid blue,
Worn, yeah,
like the
just
top is
worn.
solid blue. Right. So, I mean, something's got to give and take. But I've also worn it with a dark blue collared shirt
Okay.
with the collar out, and it looks really good
Yes.
because it almost looks like the collar's become a part of the sweater, and it doesn't look like a boat neck sweater anymore. And I know some people, the neckline bothers them, but when you have this dark blue above it, it looks really good. It comes together and it just looks like a sweater.
So that was where you kind of sold me on it. You didn't you say when you can adjust the neck, right? With the toggles?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, when you told me you wore that shirt underneath and you basically said it kind of looked like one piece. What do you know? Is he wearing the rag and bone under that? Do we know what
Yes.
that is? Okay.
Yeah, it's the rag and
See,
bone.
okay. Like that look itself, it doesn't, I don't mind that.
I don't
But,
mind it either. It looks fine.
I don't know. So perfect segue. Second to last one,
Oh boy.
the rag and bone Henley. I hate
Yeah.
it. I would never buy it. I don't want
I
anything to
just
do with
find
it.
that it doesn't look good on people.
Yeah.
No, of course we both like it. We've talked about this, and it looks great on you. And
Thank you.
so this has been one of these things that when I got it for the movie.
Mhm.
It was incredibly soft. It fit perfectly. I mean, the size that I got fit perfectly. It was complementary to my shape and everything like that. And I was one of these people that really hadn't worn Henleys. I owned a couple of them, but they were more like, to pair underneath things. And
Yes.
then I just started wearing it with everything: jeans,
Yep.
different colored jeans, chinos. And it became a go-to. I wore it underneath things. You know what I did was I actually wound up pairing it a lot with shawl collared cardigans for a
Yep.
more casual look. Because usually I'd have like just t-shirts under the cardigan or v-necks or polos or whatever. And then I was like, let me try a Henley. And this Henley goes with everything. I
Yep.
mean, everything. And it looks good under Harringtons. And so to me, it is probably one of the most versatile pieces of clothing I think we'll see out of No Time to Die. Well, what do
Mhm.
you think?
I'm the same. I never wore Henleys. I'm not a big V-neck person. I just never been a big fan of,
Yeah.
the exposure here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just my body type or what. I've just never been too big a fan. But, this, of course, another one when it came out, I was like, it's a great piece. It's affordable. It's from a brand that I already own
Yeah.
items from and really, really appreciate. And it's a brand that you can get fairly easily around
Mm.
here. Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom, you can get rag and bone at these places. So, and of course, like everything else, he looks great in it. So I was like, so will I naturally, right?
Soul.
So, yeah, I mean, for me, mine is, I went a size up just to make sure that it didn't shrink or anything. But I actually purposely shrunk it and it fits even better. It just kind of, but it still looks like it should. It doesn't
What
look
size
like it's
did you get?
been, I think it's a large.
Oh,
I
wow.
think it's a large, but I mean, does it look like a large?
No, I mean, you
I
probably
don't,
could
I
have
don't,
gone down definitely to a medium.
yeah. And that's the thing though. I know that now, but at the same time, the thing with this is you can wear it in so many different ways where a medium would look great because, for our anniversary dinner, I wore this with kind of like I don't want
Yeah.
to say a bomber, but something over top. That's where the medium would really come into play. But right now, just kind of lounging,
You need to get a second.
trust me, that's a plan. Do you have the short? sleeve version of this? Because Rag and Bone does have a
I
short sleeve
don't
version.
know. Do
Yeah,
you?
no.
Oh,
So I tried it on
looks
3
good.
days ago, but it looks great. But the only problem is the only color they had was like a kind of like a baby blue. And I
Oh,
didn't want
okay.
that, but I tried it on for size, and you were right. The medium, at least in that, was great. So this one, like we've seen, he wears it with the Duster. He wears it with the N.Peal Commando. Have you done anything similar as far as trying to figure out your own versions of things? Have you worn it under something where somebody would kind of have no idea that's what this is?
Oh yeah, like I was saying, the when I paired it under the sweaters, nobody
Right.
would know and nobody would guess, what it is. I just think that Henleys now have really made a comeback in a big
Mhm.
way. I think somebody affectionately said, by themselves, they look like you were going to mine coal at one time or gold.
Right.
And I think it's really taken on it's a very Americana type look. I mean, it really is got its roots, there in the kind of Levi Strauss thing. So it pairs perfectly with jeans on its own. The short sleeve ones, I have a couple of white short sleeve versions of this, just not the Rag and Bone ones.
Right.
So
The
I don't know. I
embargoed
think we're going
one.
to see more of these. What's that?
The embargoed one, I'm assuming.
That's one of them, but that one
We'll
has a
talk
very
later.
different look than this. Is
Um,
that's a linen?
okay. So I guess my only other question as far as this one goes is when you do wear it with something, so when you've got it kind of hidden underneath, of course, with a Henley, when you button it, you can kind of see that little point here.
I don't button it all the way to the top.
Okay, so say you're wearing something that kind of comes down. Do you ever wear it where you can kind of see
Oh
here,
yeah,
or is it
yeah.
always it's just completely hidden?
No. I wouldn't bother wearing it if it was completely hidden.
Right. Okay.
No, I
Yeah.
have it a little bit peeking out
Right.
in some cases for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it makes it a little bit more interesting that way, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, David. We're at the last one. 4.5 hours
What?
later, 17
Yeah, 17 hours
colorblind
later.
comments.
My
We're
mouth
at
is
the
dry.
very last one. And this is one that I own. It's a very interesting one. It's a very interesting material to say the least, but versatile and amazing. The RGT jacket that I cannot wait. This might be the one, aside from the potential of seeing outfits that we haven't seen in this three and a
Yeah.
half hour long film that I'm sure we're going to get. This is one I can't wait to see if he wears it in any other way and how. The RGT jacket, it's a wax. How else have you worn this? Although similar to the Dior jacket, seems to be done perfectly in the scene that we have seen. How else would you wear this, and how else have you worn this?
I mean, I've worn this. We'll begin with at the beginning, like you said. I've worn it just like in the film
Mhm.
because it's one of these things like in Quantum of Solace when he wears his cardigan. It's like that's pretty perfect. Like they nailed it. So who am I? So I've worn it with the OBT, and jeans and boots. I've worn it just like in that. Same amount of buttons, button. Quack, quack, I'm a geek.
Mhm.
But I've also paired it with a lot of other things. This is my go-to fall jacket. I
Yes.
mean, it honestly is. And I think it probably will be yours as well, where I've worn it with gray t-shirts, blue t-shirts. I've worn it with polos. I've worn it
Yep.
with long sleeve polos when it got a little colder. I did a video of this. It's up on YouTube right now where I wore it in the dead of winter, thinking I'm going to be freezing my ass off. I wasn't. I wore it with a sweater. And
Yep.
so I've got two different sizes, a medium and a large. And the large one, it's a little bulkier. I wore a sweater underneath it and it looked bam,
Yep.
perfect. And, so again, color scheme wise, I try to keep away from pants that are too light with
Mhm.
this. So I'm going towards more darker, but I've worn this with corduroys.
Okay.
And the corded look looks so good, like a
Were
gray
they the All
corduroy.
Saints?
I've got all types of corduroys. I've got way too much, but I do have it
Yeah.
all. I have
I was
multiple
just
pairs of all
the
saints.
Skyfall. I feel like the Skyfall corduroys would look phenomenal with
Perfect.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, the dark brown with that kind of like with the reddish hue to it is
Mhm.
perfect. So this to me is just one of these jackets. And again, it's this jacket that a trucker jacket like this is, which is what it's based on, the old trucker jackets from way
Yep.
back when, is just one of these things that you wear it out and it looks unstudied.
Mhm.
It looks like you're not trying hard. There are some things that Bond wears, and it's like, oh, this guy's really trying hard.
Right.
It doesn't look like that. And it complements every body type. The Harris Thomases, the David Zaritskis, the Lukes, every
Mhm.
body type.
Yep. I agree completely. And this is one, it was so when I first, this is, and I've actually had it long enough to have worn it fall and winter already. This was one when I first got it, of course, you kind of put it on and you're like, damn, like the wax material, like I don't, but then it just kind of seems to, like you said, it just fits to whatever shape you are. And then even buttoning it, you're like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to pull up. The only thing that I won't do, just because I'm never too big a fan, is the full collar pop. I've done kind of like a half. Do you do the full like he's got in this scene?
Yeah, I've trained it. So because I mean it wants to do a kind of a traditional, but it's
Yeah.
weird. It's like this weird fold down rip. And I do tend to do that because I do like that popped. It's actually called an English popped collar look.
Yeah.
So I do it. Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
So I personally I've worn it with this and I think so
Beautiful.
I can't lie to you. I've worn it with jeans and
Yeah.
boots like him and a couple different types of boots. Obviously, we've spoken about the boots. I don't know if that's a public conversation yet, but the boots that I have that people thought they may be, I of course jumped at, so we'll only time will tell. But I've worn it with those, and then I've worn it with some kind of like beat up, dressier looking ones. But I've also done with like just a navy t-shirt underneath rather than just a white, because sometimes the white
Beautiful.
almost looks a little too crisp.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
and this is obviously a bright white, but with the material, it's not as t-shirt bright white.
Yeah. And it looks
Um,
faded, like an eggshell
right,
white. Yeah.
right. So before I let you go, let's talk about the brand RGT. So it is a husband and wife, from what I understand.
It is. Yeah. Carl
Yeah,
and his wife, they're great people.
yeah. So the interesting story about this is I got it before my fiance and I went to Columbus last October. So I, of course, wore it. We walked into a store downtown and this guy was like, that's the RGT jacket. And it was like a boutique store. And he as well, from what I understand, even ordering inventory is working directly with the husband and wife, talking about how great they are, talked about Bond a little bit. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like that in itself is a huge selling point on this.
Yeah.
Just the brand itself and the story behind the brand. And, and they've got similar to like Barber. I like the fact that you can buy different things, jeans, shirts from the same brand. So you can kind of get into a new brand and then explore what else they have to offer, kind of like I've done
Yeah.
with Barber.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Well, that's it, David.
This was fun. We should do
Bye.
this with other Bond movies or
Yeah. Yeah.
Bond actors.
Yeah. Maybe we'll make it a series. Maybe we'll make it a
Imagine that.
series. But yeah, so thanks for doing this. As far as any honorable mentions from Craig before I let you go, anything that you thought might be in here that you didn't see that you want to kind of throw something out? Is there anything, I guess I'll make it a simpler question. Is there
Okay.
anything that you kind of expected to see and didn't because you personally have already mixed and matched the hell out of it on your own?
I think you covered so many of the biggest ones. No, there's nothing that I was like, I cannot believe he didn't talk about this.
Right.
Like I think you really hit upon the big key ones.
Well, thank
This
you.
is
Well,
fun.
thanks for doing it, David. I appreciate it.
Happy to do it. Hope it was fun, and we'll do it again hopefully soon.
Yep, yep, sounds good. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Once again, I'm Luke Taggart at Bond's Apartment, Mr. David Zaritsky, The Bond Experience. I will see you guys on the next one.
Take care.